What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio is the king of video games.
Whoa! Hey, hold on.
Okay.
We need to make a revision to this.
Oh, okay.
Based on recent events that have taken place.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna retire it. I'm gonna set it aside. I'm gonna set my king of video games aside, and I would just like to be known as local superstar. And that's in reference to my winnings of both. That's right, I said both of the games of Mario Party.
We still need to finish
you and I and Eddie and two guests, Funky Bunch and Angel, all played together.
Some
two
people
in a row,
say,
mind you.
Some people say that first game hasn't really been finished yet, though, and we need.
And some people say, "How are you going to catch up to a 5-star lead with 2?" There's no way.
Okay.
There's no way. You'd have to win all 3 bonus stars. It's never happened.
Yeah, I mean, I've done crazier. But okay, local superstar.
You know what? No, resident superstar. That sounds better. Resident superstar.
Okay, all right. Let me update it here on the dock.
Thank you.
Vamp for me for a second while I fix. Okay, resident. Too bad I can't spell, right? Joke's
Come on now.
Superstar. All right, there we go. Resident superstar,
Perfect.
Adrian Holmes. All right.
Thank you.
Also joining me here in the virtual studio is resident superstar Adrian Holmes.
What's going on, Garrett?
Not much, dude. Not much. I'm, jobless. But that's a story for another day. Day. Or later in the show when JJ brings it up here in about 2 minutes.
I was going to say, you can tell him he's ready to get you.
And also joining us here tonight is the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
That's right. They call me the 3-nipple ninja. JJ Purdom, welcome back me to this amazing podcast. And Garrett, I understand earlier today you were fired, terminated, let go, asked to leave the premises, clear out your desk and all that good
Canned.
stuff. Yeah, however you want to say it. I want to be sensitive
Thrown
to
out.
Your feelings. Yeah.
Got the boot.
Escorted
Got your walking papers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, I try to tell you, you cannot steal all the stamps that you were stealing and get away with it. For as long as you did, you were playing a dangerous game, man. That dangerous.
Yeah, that stamp black market, man, makes you make some killer money off of it.
Yeah, I think it's a
laugh,
federal
but people
offense.
do the same thing with coins.
Oh, shoot. So I shouldn't admit to that? Oh, no.
No, you probably shouldn't. Because, Garrett, I'm going to tell you, with those clear glasses that obviously are not real, you're going to get totally tore up in jail. It's just not, it's not going to work for you. You're not a very big guy.
Hey,
and
you are
I just
correct.
feel like
He's tall. He's got that going for him.
you're
You can
very
see the
tall.
danger coming.
You're I would say lanky is kind of a better way to describe him.
If somebody's
as opposed to tall.
if somebody's coming at him with a shaved down plastic fork, he's got it. He's ready. He's got a couple of extra seconds to defend himself.
But if it's a toothbrush, we all know that Garrett doesn't know what those look like, and so he won't see it coming, and so he's probably going to get stabbed with that. And that's when he's just covered. He just covered his teeth. That hurt. That dug a little bit deep.
Look, no,
That
wait a
feels
minute
good.
now. Come on now. The boy, he still has a couple of days of toothpaste left. Just because he doesn't have no job and no money doesn't mean he can't brush his teeth. Hold
man.
on.
That insurance just kicked in, too. That's the part that really hurts. He just got the insurance.
Yeah,
I mean, man, they're going to
no
take that
joke.
away from you.
That's no joke.
If you got to go to the doctor probably tomorrow, buddy. I'm just saying.
You're going to wake up. Oh,
got the
this
card.
is such a pain.
Just got the card the other day, and now they're taking it away. I'm like, oh, thanks,
Nope,
guys.
you might
That
as
was nice.
well put it in the shredder.
That was
Cut
nice.
that sucker right up, buddy.
It was a nice gesture. That's all.
Well, you're actually over near in San Diego, so you're really close to Mexico. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
probably a much cheaper place for you to just go and get some
Drive on
highly
down.
legal dental care. So if you need.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that.
They can check on your organs and you can pay with one.
Kind of give a penny, take a penny kind of thing. Is that how it works?
Or a kidney. You know?
Give a kidney, take a kidney.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, this is nothing that we can joke about. Garrett lost his job today, Adrian. How dare you turn this into a humor thing where you're making fun of a man without
it's
employment?
Me. It's me.
That's
Yes,
the way
of
I
course.
remember it. You know,
Oh yeah, okay, all right. I mean, you don't want to repeat your zinger that you had before. Yeah, before the show. That's what I thought.
I was brutal before the show. I think I got it all out so that way I wouldn't unleash it on him in the show, because I do want to be sensitive to him. You know, I'm thinking the guy just lost his job earlier today. How's he going to support his family?
I just defended his teeth. What are you talking about?
No, of course you did. And I said something to the effect of he's probably going to have to, hey, Garrett, when are you going to go to the soup kitchen? And it took Adrian just a little bit of a moment, like, is he going to go?
I was like, is he
volunteering?
volunteering?
It is the holidays, you know.
He said to go stand in line over there, probably. Can I have another bowl of soup, please?
Now, Garrett, they're only going to give you one slice of pumpkin pie down there this Thursday, okay? So,
oh man,
don't be greedy.
Okay. I'll just have to ration it out, you know, little nibbles.
You're gonna have to divide it into 4.
But man, yeah, no, that was a shocker today. Get that call, like, hey, by the way, there's 2 people with the same job, and we don't need that, so we're gonna let you go. I'm like, oh, cool, that's convenient. You know, the one guy who's out of town. I see how it is. Can
I tell you? I want you to keep this in mind, like in defense of you. I honestly, you did the job a whole lot longer than the other person that came in to do the job, and taking humor out of it, because there's so much stuff that I can tell you about how she hasn't been doing it long, but she does it better than you, and all. But I would never say that to you, because that. I mean,
why else would they choose her over me? Obviously, she's doing it better than me, right?
No, it's honestly what you're not thinking about.
I only say that in jest because, like, but I love.
You're already fired. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? You just burn bridges on the way out. No, but honestly, Garrett, you made a whole lot more money than the other person that was doing the job. So. Yeah, you were spreading it around a little bit, you know, like you're like, I'll just use the company card for that stuff, you know, like going and taking friends out for meals.
All right. Hold on now. You can still get jammed up for that. Let's come. Wait a minute.
Allegedly.
Right.
Somebody had to purchase those stamps, Garrett, and I'm just saying.
We can't purchase stolen stamps. Hold on now. Why would I purchase them to steal them?
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, let the company purchase it.
Right.
If I purchase it on the company card, they could trace it back to me. But if they purchase the stamps, then I could just take them.
There you go. So yeah, if anyone's hiring in San Diego, hit me up. Yeah. I'm open. Your boy's open.
You'll be all right, big dog.
I can host.
There's better things coming your way.
I can host a mean podcast. I'll leave these guys behind in a second, in a heartbeat. I'll leave Adrian, JJ. They can do this dang show themselves. I'll go work for G4.
You don't want us to do it. We'll be
okay.
Skyrocket.
Okay. All right, I see what's going on here. No, let's go work for G4. They're just up in LA, so I always commute up there and work for G4 TV.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Just going. Yeah, good luck. I'd love to see you on camera trying to do that.
Oh, come on. You have so little faith in me. I don't know how I feel about that.
You just don't scream G4 energy to me. They're very high energy.
Yeah, they are very.
I don't know if you're gonna
very intense.
You got to bring it every day.
I think I have a better chance of going to work at G4.
Oh, 100%.
They'd a quarter of the amount of video gaming that you do, Garrett, and I think that I'd probably fit in well there. Although I'd be stealing all kinds of stuff, like everything that's like not like hammered down.
Any shirts that say G4 on them, or mugs or pencils, because I want it all when I get fired for stealing. It's too late.
They'd be the wrong size shirts and everything. I would like be wearing
just give it.
Like large size, and like I'd have like full midriff belly sticking out.
Look, you weren't selling these shirts 10 years ago, okay? I've been waiting 10 years to get a G4 shirt. I'm taking it. Thank you very much. I think that
if I was working there, people would be like, "How did you get this job exactly? Like, what do you know about video games? Do you even play them?"
And then you just tell a story. Then you just like break off into like this crazy tangent, telling a random story, or like tell a joke and be like, that's why. Okay,
that's the one.
Exactly. That's it. That's it.
And then as soon as they put the camera on you, welcome to the Little Nightmare Show with me, Juicy JJ Purtle.
Like, hey JJ, look, can we have a talk? You've talked about Little Nightmares for the last 4 months.
We've devoted an entire season to Little Nightmares. We cannot do Little Nightmares 2 for season 2, JJ. We need more content. I'm sorry, G4, that's all I know.
But did I ever tell you about the time that I ran for Little Miss Newman when I was 17 or 18 years old?
Well, hang on. Because we have a fun segment later on where you might be able to trick or treat us with that story. But today we're actually going to be talking about how Activision Blizzard is still a trash company. Streamlabs, also a trash company. How apparently Kojima Productions is hiring now. So do I have a chance? Maybe.
Yeah, in the mailroom.
Dude, you already got stamps. You already got plenty of freaking stamps. You just show up, man. Dude, you just show up with a bundle of that
Full
shit.
circle,
and you just
baby,
make it
full
happen.
circle.
Full circle. And also, Rockstar made a trash game. So there's a whole lot of trash tonight, other than
everybody
the whole
sucks
Kojima
today.
The world sucks today. But first, shout out to our Patreon producers, Toby Dalton and Kojima. Thank you guys so much for your support at that producer tier. And also shout out to our awesome sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare, our Patreon sponsors, I should say. We're not big enough for any real sponsors yet, but you wait one day we'll
Just keep going.
We'll have
We'll
Disney
have
Plus
one.
up in here, or for Hims or something. I am starting to lose my hair a little bit, thinning a little bit.
You know what? I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, ooh, I think I might got a little thinning going on too. But I've been shaving my head for years now, so when it grows back in, it's like, yep, I made the right decision. Let it go.
The right choice. If you want to be awesome, just like our Patreon supporters here, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. It's a bottom tier up to, we have $5, $10, $15 tiers, different perks at each one, but every one of those tiers has early and ad-free episodes of both this show and also our Super Gamer Book Club hosted by Adrian. In fact, this month's episode was Cadence of Hyrule. We talked about Cadence of Hyrule. Adrian, myself, and Trouser Schnauzer. Fantastic show. A lot of fun. So go check that one out if you can. Remember, you support us for $1 and you get access to that right away. Or more. I'm not above begging or more. In this next month's episode. This next month's episode is Super Mario Odyssey. And are we ready yet to...
We are ready. We've locked them in. Ladies and gentlemen, this month we are covering Super Mario Odyssey with Mr. Nintendo himself, Pocket, a.k.a. Super Pocket 64, a.k.a. Big Dog Pocket. That's what I was calling him when he invaded my stream with a bunch of people because he has like 1 billion followers on Twitch.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's going to be a lot of fun talking with him, Mr. Nintendo over there, about some Super Mario Odyssey. I got to brush up on it a little bit. I beat it like a couple years ago when it came out, but it's been a while since I've touched it. So I need to we're recording next week. So I guess I better get on that and start playing through some levels.
You can do it. I mean,
I got nothing better to do. I got nothing better to do now.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. I mean, I'm always down to make time for the best 3D Mario game.
Heck
That's
yeah.
right. I said it.
Oof.
I said it and I meant it.
Spoilers,
10 out of 10, baby.
Spoilers. Okay.
10 out of 10, baby.
We'll talk more about our Patreon later in the show, but now it's time to check the mailbag.
All right. Well, Garrett.
Yes.
I mean, you had time. You could have went and got the mailbag right now. Like,
yeah, you're right. I have nothing better to do.
You were working in the mailroom
when you were down at the
checked.
office. You could have went down and just been like, it was right down the hallway where the mailroom is next to the unemployment office. You could have just went and been like, hey, I'm here. I'm already in the building. Can I just get the mailbag? So,
Well, you know what? Joke's on you. I do already have it right here next to me.
Oh, he was multitasking today. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So this first question comes from Parcelmouth209, and he asked, and this question, there's no context in the question itself to let you know this, but I was informed later that this is directed mostly towards me. How could you not play more than an hour of Skyrim? I've only played about an hour or so of Skyrim, and that's it. And I was like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm not interested in this. I kind of turned it off, and that was it. And
that's illegal.
That's what he said as well. He said the same thing. I should go to jail. Actually, his exact quote.
You really should. Now you got 2 charges against you. You got stealing stamps, you got theft, and you got only playing an hour of Skyrim. You're going for life, buddy. You're out of here.
Oh no!
So funny enough, I actually downloaded Skyrim for the first time earlier today on Game Pass. So I was looking forward to trying to play it myself this week.
Do it. It's
now,
absolutely worth it.
Are they putting the new 10th anniversary edition on Game Pass?
I would imagine since they own Bethesda.
What I saw, I don't know if that was
Well,
the
I don't think the 10th
anniversary.
anniversary version is out yet.
It's not even any different either. It's just, what is it, mods on it now? Or like...
No,
what is it? It already runs at 60. It already runs at 4K. What's the difference?
Honestly, I don't know. But they put a new label on it, so something must be different, right? If they can sell it as a different name, I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, I think this is the one you can fish now. I think this was the big thing about it.
Fishing, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't grab me, didn't hook me. I played it, and I love Fallout. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Bethesda-style games, RPGs, but something about the Fallout universe just grabbed me. I loved it. Loved the humor. I just loved everything about the story, characters, weapons. But they were also making fun of me because my buddy is the guy who wrote this question is one of the guys I play D&D with, and he's like, it's literally a video game that's D&D.
Right.
It's literally D&D in a video game. I'm like, yeah, but it's different, dude. It's different. I promise. He wasn't convinced. He's like, no, it's not different. So I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry I've let you all down. But that's all there is to it. I've played Skyrim. I didn't like it, and I probably won't go back.
Well, it's nice knowing you.
There should be there's too many other good games out there for me playing, like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there is, but I thought you had already played.
I was hoping that'd get you off my back. I was hoping that'd get you on my side.
I thought you had already played Sky. Like, it's a rite of passage at this point.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? If you play the Vidges. I don't understand okay, you haven't played Skyrim. Have you played any Elder Scrolls? 3, 4, 5? None.
Because I didn't have an Xbox until 360, which is the only.
But Oblivion was on 360.
Was it? Okay. For
Yeah.
some reason I thought it was
and Skyrim.
No. Yeah, I knew Skyrim was, but I didn't realize any other ones were. I mean, yeah, so older ones I didn't play because I didn't have an original Xbox, and 360. No, I didn't. Never played it.
Technically, I get a pass because I'm new to video games and I've been busy playing Little Nightmares 1 and 2. So that's no. Okay.
All right, you know what, Garrett? Today is the day. All right, we're done. JJ, you are no longer allowed to lean on Little Nightmares. Moving forward.
You can't take it from me, guys.
Look, Little Nightmares 1 and 2 are excellent games. We've done a book club on them with Ray. We did the whole 9. Mm-hmm. We know you love them. Yeah. But there are other games out there. No. You cannot just keep saying that you're playing these 2 games. It doesn't work like that.
Is there any consolation to the fact that I haven't played those games in weeks? And
yes.
I just beat them both again recently, and so I've moved on. I've been playing other games, guys.
So. There's too many other games that you haven't experienced yet, aka like Skyrim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will not from here forth. The 3-Nipple Ninja, JJ Purdom, Juicy JJ.
I'll hold the book. You can put your hand on the book.
I will not talk about Little Nightmares 1. I will not talk about Little Nightmares 2.
Or the DLC.
Even though they are damn it, that hurts. Even though they are such incredible games and probably the greatest games of all time, next to Last of Us 2. I will not talk about them on this podcast.
All right. Now next week, you better come with something.
Okay.
You better.
Garrett, you're a witness to this.
I witnessed it. Yep.
The listeners and the viewers are also witnessing this at the same time.
Dan witnessed it. Noah C92 witnessed it. Zero Faints witnessed it.
Good.
Sleight of
Zero
Game
Faints doesn't
it.
count. Zero Faints doesn't count. That's not right.
Okay, it doesn't count. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to the real Dan because he just said that my beard looks amazing. So thank you. I appreciate it.
What about Adrian's beard? Adrian's beard was looking pretty glistening. I know I've got a little bit of bacon in mine. Mine looks pretty nice.
All right, this next question comes from Sweats, and he says, "Boys, Battlefield is good. Having a lot of fun playing that, but it brings out the worst in me. I am pretty composed until I get into a game and turn into absolute chaos. What's the game that brings out the worst in you?" And I agree with the Skyrim question. He also kind of dogpiled on me there, but
Mario Party.
What's a game that brings out the worst in you? Mario Party for Adrian. Okay.
Now, brings out the worst. How so exactly?
Like
it makes
just-
you like the most, like the biggest jerk. Like
Oh.
it brings out your most toxic gaming traits.
Easily Fortnite. Anytime that I have had to try to play Fortnite with my son, with my daughter, like I hate that game so freaking much. And it becomes this thing where it's like, Dad, play the game with me. And I'm like, I freaking hate it. And I don't know what it is about the building. And like, it also pisses me off because I've paid for all those skins. And then I see all the skins. And I'm like, why do they have 3,000 skins? And they want to buy more. Oh, if I could just get a little more V-Bucks. And I'm like, V-Bucks is real money. Like
Yeah,
no.
absolutely. I just paid a lot of money to get the Naruto ones.
Oh, man,
A
it's
lot
killing
of
me.
money.
For what? To what end? So you can like run around as these
Yes.
characters so other people can see you in these
Yes.
skins?
No, so I can see me. I don't care about what they're wearing.
Well,
my
I
gosh.
become the biggest jerk when I'm playing it because I hate it. I can't stand it. I get killed so easily. And like then they laugh at me, like even my 6-year-old, my little princess,
man.
my little tiger literally tells me, Dad, you're a bot. You're a bot, Dad. You're a bot. And I'm like, no, stop. Hey. Stop calling Daddy a bot, okay? Because you're kind of hurting my feelings right now. And Daddy's not really a bot. And then she's like, but you keep getting killed by bots, Dad. You're a bot. That makes you a bot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know anything. You're 6. And you still pee your pants sometimes. So why don't you like back off? No, she doesn't actually pee.
Noah C92
I mean-
in the chat says V-Bucks are crypto for kids. Changed my mind. I mean, if only, V-Bucks could make you money somehow, then I mean, maybe, but oh man, it's so ridiculous. For me, it's really any first person shooter like multiplayer. Like when I jumped into back in the day when I would play PUBG, I jumped into like Warzone stuff now, not Fortnite. Like I don't really play Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. You guys all know that. But yeah, for first person shooter, like multiplayer, competitive, that type of thing. Oh man, I just will get heated because I'm like, no, I put a whole freaking clip of that guy. You kidding me? He should be dead. How did he get the freaking, there's some stuff that comes out. It's like, oh, I need to calm down a little bit. I need to calm down. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Cause I guess in my head too, like I was like, I'm better than that. I know I'm better than that. Obviously I'm not, cause I just get destroyed every time I play them. But I should have had that. Yeah. Drives me nuts. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, dude. Mario Party turns me into the most like scheming, vindictive, like I just, it's almost like a completely different person. Like I am out for blood when Mario Party is played.
Yeah.
And
This is a
I
good
think
question.
that's in huge thanks to the people that I play with. Namely that my brother and my best friends that I grew up with, we still play it to this day. And they are just as bloodthirsty as me. So it's in me now. I can't not play Mario Party and be like, you know what? I'm having a good time. It's like, no, I gotta take everyone out. I need to win. I need to crush all of you. Give me all your stars. You are garbage. You're dirt.
Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, you are pretty intense. Like you and Eddie both. The last couple times we played on stream, you and Eddie are just like so into it. For me, like I didn't grow
Yes.
up with it, so I'm like I really love it.
I
And I'm, like, a little
saw that
competitive,
spark in
but-
Eddie and I was like, oh, someone else who takes this very seriously. Okay.
This is not a game.
This game is not a game.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do these questions out of order because we were talking about Fortnite there a second ago. So let's do Sir Prince a lot. He asked, the year is 2031. What's the latest DLC added to Fortnite? Oh man.
It'll be more Marvel skins, like whatever the new Marvel movie is, the new big blockbuster Star Wars movie that comes out. It'll be those types of skins that end up. They've already done everything else.
I got one. It's gonna be cereal mascots.
Tony the Tiger.
Yep.
And stuff like
Lucky, Toucan
Oh.
Sam.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I want
That's
the
gonna be
Halloween
one.
for Halloween. It'll be like the Halloween ones, like
Yep.
Frankenberry and all that
Yep.
stuff.
Count Chocula,
Count Chocula,
Captain Crunch.
I would. Okay, I would play if it was Captain Crunch. I would play.
See, that's how they get you.
I'm like, all right, take my damn credit card.
I love it. I love it so much. Man. So okay, that's there's not really much to answer that question because it's not 2031, and I don't want to think about 10 years from now.
It's soon enough.
That's too scary.
It's closer than you think.
Too scary. This next question comes from quote Joma, and he says, amid the backlash to Halo's customization options, which I read that I'm like, backlash? I haven't heard anything, but apparently, according to quote Joma, quote unquote, good Joma, he says, what is a game that you think absolutely killed it with its customization options?
Interesting question.
When they're talking about customization options for Halo, what does that mean exactly?
Like your armor, your weapons, your vehicles.
Like changing your colors or your skins or like and all that stuff for your guns, armor stuff, yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily customization options, but I think that one game that I thought was really, really great at like creating your character, a big deal for like a thing was WWE 2K games.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they were really great about creating your wrestler. And so that was like the most fun was creating a character, creating like their move set, how they walk out, what they look like, the aesthetic, how tall, how big, how fat, what color their skin is, like whatever, creating like these crazy characters and then getting to live vicariously through the character while you're wrestling these stars like the Undertaker and The Rock and Stone Cold or whatever. That was amazing and like really great. And they've kept that going through all of the different WWE games. And I'm not a big fan of wrestling games. I never really have been. But the creator wrestler in the 2K games was fantastic. Really good.
Yeah, I just remember watching a Monster Factory, which is a video that Justin and Griffin McElroy, they do, which they're like, I love them. They're so hilarious. Like their podcast, My Brother and Me, any comedy that they do is gold. The Adventure Zone, that's what got me into D&D. But they do this YouTube series called Monster Factory where they take games that have character creation tools and just try to make the most horrific or absurd characters. And they come up with like names and a whole backstory and lore. And then they play as them in the game. And they did a wrestling game. And they had this like wild looking dude. I'll just send you the video because it's hilarious. Like this is what they how horribly they broke the system to make this crazy character. It's like, oh, that's like a monster. You've created a monster within the character creator somehow. Like if you hit random enough times, it does some wild stuff. I don't really know. Games with customization options, like
The Sim. I mean, it's no brainer. The Sims, of course.
Yeah,
you can make literally anyone.
That's
if
true.
you sculpt it right. That's like number one.
I would always get lost in, speaking of, we talked about Bethesda earlier, in Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, like I would spend hours making my character for that game, like, way longer than I should have.
Did you make it look like you, or you just like?
Sometimes it looked like me, it just depended on how I was feeling. Because I beat those games so many times. Like I'd start new characters and start over and stuff like that. And I would sometimes I'd try to get as close as possible. Like, let's see if I can actually make it look like me. And other times it's like, I'm just going to go wild with this one. But it's insanely in depth if you have the patience. Like you can make some crazy stuff.
I want to commend your customization skills for how you made our 8-bit characters that is on our logo. And I really, honestly, yours looks so much like you, Garrett. Zetch's looks so much like Zetch. And then there was me. I look so much like me. I'm like, wow. Then I was like, well, I am just like a little round fat guy with a goatee. And like, okay, so there's like not a whole lot. And then he made Adrian's, and I was like, dude, that's so awesome. And I was like, hey, Garrett, that's like so awesome. Looks just like him. And he's like, well, you want me to let you in a little secret?
It's a palette swap.
It's basically JJ. And then like swap. I just darkened his face. And I was like, dude, are you ever going to tell him? He's like, no.
The beard's a little different.
Don't tell. And so I'm telling you now, Adrian, you have my face on there, brother.
I knew that from the day, from the first day. I knew that. I saw it in the shape of the head. I was like, I know exactly what you did.
Well,
why does that make me so happy talking about it on this show?
Technically, at their skeleton, they all have the same shape head. The only difference is those who have hair.
Yeah, you roll with that, Garrett. Yeah, you go ahead and roll with that.
Have a little bit different hair. That's all. But
I was gonna let you slide. I was like, man, he's got to run the show. He's got a lot going on. He just whipped this out real quick. He just,
okay. I see.
Gave it the old swapperoo. He said JJ was skin 1 and I was skin 2.
Look, I'm leaking.
If you guys want to do it, you can do it yourself. You can make your own dang faces, okay?
Do it. Somebody make some sick sprite art of us. Do it. I want to see it.
Someone make some awesome, like maybe like a higher bit, because I did like really simple, like what's like 16 or 30, like not 32 bit, but yeah, like a 16 bit. Like let's move up to like it's like Sega Genesis kind of pixel graphics.
Oh,
that'd be
16.
Awesome. Is that 16?
That's 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that what you did is like an 8, because yours is an 8-bit, the one that you made of our faces.
Yeah. So let's bump that up. Let's double those pixels. All right. This last
Sega CD. Make us look like Sega CD characters.
Sega CD. There we go. Last mailbag question comes from Shadow Ranger 02, and he's just curious. He says, "What are your guys' coffee orders, and why are they better than JJ's order?" So he has something against JJ's coffee order for some reason, without even knowing it.
What the heck?
Yeah, he's out for blood.
Did you say something to him before or about him?
I guess maybe I did.
Yeah.
Was it about Garrett stealing stamps or anything? Was that like offensive?
I don't know, but you caught a stray. You just got dunked on out of nowhere.
I'm going to tell you what, it's only black coffee with some heavy cream in it. That's it. Or just black coffee. That's all you need. You don't need to have frappa, cappuccino, nothing. Okay? None of that sugary garbage. You put a little bit of heavy cream in it, or you just drink it like a man.
With a piece of plain toast.
Yeah, no bread. It's that turns into sugar.
That's gluten. So, that's gluten.
Yeah, you don't have any of that. But
good grief. Black coffee, but I have a gluten allergy.
No, I'm not a puss. No, Garrett's the one who's a puss. I don't have any of that gluten crap.
You kidding me? I don't have a gluten allergy.
Sure you don't. I don't know. I don't drink coffee. So like if I go to a Starbucks or something, I get matcha tea. That's
matcha. Okay, you're hardcore.
I'm a really big fan of that. So
hardcore, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's either. I mean, usually just black coffee if I'm anywhere else. But if I do go to a Starbucks or like a coffee shop, I'll splurge and I'll get like a cold brew or an Americano, which is basically just a heavier duty black coffee. So yeah, cold brew,
take
Americano.
That,
JJ. That's all.
Okay.
Just a little bit more manly, black. And give me just a shot of espresso. I'm fine. I
also am cheap, so I make it at home. And the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. And I can't even afford Folgers, so what I do is I get the Great Value Walmart brand. And I get the
I was just about to say Great Value, and then you said
yes. I love it. I love that so much.
I was like, man. Which flavor of Great Value do you get, JJ? Do you get the hazelnut or do you just get the regular?
I just get regular.
Oh man, Yoga Archangel in the chat. Shots fired. He's like, "Is JJ the only professional here?" I see that acoustic paneling. So he's praising JJ and calling me and Adrian out for not having acoustic paneling.
I mean, if you want to pay for it, be my guest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, keep your yap shut.
All right. And so I do, in their defense, I want you guys to know, like, I have 2 different kinds on the walls. That's why, like, super white trash, so I have it like all mixed up. And so that's how I do things. I'm like, I could go, I ran out, and then I was like, I'm going to order some more online. And I ordered it from a Chinese place. And so it came in like different, and it didn't look like that online on the Googs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. And I do have acoustic paneling. It's just I put it where it counts. I didn't put all willy-nilly like JJ. I was a lot more calculated and precise.
You placed it artistically, architecturally. So it's effective.
it's in front of him.
It's in front of me to the wall over there, and I have bass traps in all corners. So
I
take
seen
that,
it with
Yogurt
my own
Archangel.
eyes, Yogurt. I
Take
seen
that.
it when I was there.
And for me, I want you to know, as despite the professional thing, mine is just behind me because I don't care about it working. I want it to aesthetically look good. So if you turn it,
But it's
if
not
you turn
even
the
lined
camera
up straight.
I
if
know
you
it's all
turn
like
it
janky
just
and
a little bit.
Hey,
like-
there's that paneling. There's that paneling.
There's some cheap 70s paneling. That's what
Why
I'm
would you
talking
expose
about.
yourself like this?
Because that's what JJ does, man. Because it's funny.
JJ
So
loves
I
I'll
love
do
that
it.
all
expose himself.
the
JJ loves
paneling isn't
exposing
even the
himself.
same pattern. You got some of the red pattern. You got some of the cube pattern.
Love it so much. Noah C92 says in the chat, that paneling is what I'm here for. I think you're talking about the wood paneling, that is.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. Reminds me of my grandma's house.
This actually smells like your grandma's house, but honestly. Cigarettes and booze. What?
Okay. That's my mom's house. You haven't brought up the Mrs. Morlang voice in a while.
Because I love your mom, and like I'm so worried that she's gonna like listen to the show and be like, he really makes me sound like old and fat. I don't like that JJ anymore, And I love your mom, and she says nice things to me all the time.
Yeah. She's pretty neat.
Wait,
she's
what?
pretty neat. Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm friends with Mr. and Mrs. Morlang, with Bill and Jenny.
Okay. The way you phrased that was odd.
I didn't mean it. Everything I phrase is odd. That's what I do.
Brother, you were
Adrian.
like, yeah, I'm friends with Mrs. Morlang. She says nice things to me all the time.
She does.
Excuse me?
I don't.
He's like, JJ,
Would you like to elaborate?
You don't look so bad anymore, sweetheart. You look fairly
You asked
well
for
for
this,
a little
Morlang.
fat bald guy.
I don't know if you guys have the chat open, but Noah C92 says episode titled "JJ exposes his wood."
Thank you. Gold.
Nailed
Actually,
it.
that was episode 78. Go back in the thing.
Actually, no, don't go listen to
Don't
those
do
old ones.
that. Yeah.
We
Leave that in the halls of history.
leave that in the past. It's better that way. That's it for the mailbag segment, guys. Now it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Now that's soul music right there. That makes me feel good.
Chicken soup for the soul.
Chicken soup for the soul.
And it'd be the same kind of soup they're serving at the soup kitchen that Garrett's kicking in line at. No? Okay. Is that hurtful? I'm not. I mean, is too soon.
We've said way worse than that. Come
You've
on.
said a lot worse things to me than that, so.
Oh yeah. I keep expecting there to be like tears, like at some point, and I don't mean Patreon tears, but I mean like salty little wet things falling from your eyes at some point when I'm gonna know, like, oh, I went too far.
That's after the show. Like I say goodbye
Right.
to you guys,
Right.
and then I cry myself to sleep after.
I don't care if you cry yourself to sleep. I'm worried about people seeing it on the show, and then it's at that
That's
point
called
that I'll.
content, JJ. Okay?
Yeah.
We work with that. See the episode that made Garrett cry. That's
was
what you do. You spin that.
That was 98. That was episode 98. Go back.
That
in
was
archives.
no. It was the one wherever me and Zetch got in that argument about freaking Gran Turismo and Forza.
Oh.
that one broke me. That one broke me straight up.
So I just got to have dinner with Zetch Keenan, the ghost of Zetch Keenan. We posted something online in our social media. I got to see Zetch. He moved to Missouri recently. Went and had dinner on Wednesday night. Had an awesome time. Zetch is great. It was great to get to see him in person, to see a familiar face. And we did bring that up, like about the amazing episode, and he said that was so much fun, and I'm like, it was not fun for Garrett. Like he still talks about how angry he was. Like,
it was.
I mean, if you want to clear the air and give your position, you're more than welcome. Like, I don't know if you've played Horizon 5, but
I have. And it is a fun
I don't
game.
think there's anything. I don't think Polyphony's not bringing anything to the table that's matching that, dude.
That wasn't the argument. The argument was not which one is better. It was all about simulation, accuracy, simulation. Which one's the more realistic simulator? We're not getting into it now, though. We're not doing it. We're not
Okay,
doing
but
it.
even based on the arcade racer though, like, could you imagine what the Sim's gonna be like?
I'm sure it'll be pretty decent, but until it comes out, we won't know for sure.
All right.
Forza Horizon 5, though, is a lot of fun. I actually fired up for just a few minutes.
It's excellent.
It was a lot of fun. I've never played, actually, any of the Forza Horizon. I've played a Motorsports back on 360, I think it was. Or was it out on 360? Was there a Forza on 360? Yeah. Okay.
It started on the original Xbox.
That's okay. So yeah, I played, I forget which one on 360, and but it was a Motorsports. I never played a Horizon. But yeah, I fired up Horizon 5. I'm like, oh, this game's a lot of fun. This is really cool.
Yeah.
All right. And I was playing with my DualSense controller, so that was bizarre playing an Xbox game with my DualSense.
I see. Blasphemy. You chose blasphemy. Got it.
It's uncanny.
All right. This first news story isn't as fun as the rest of the show has been. Now to get serious. Sorry, guys. Over at The Verge, Ash Parrish writes, over 1,000 Activision Blizzard employees petitioned to remove CEO Bobby Kotick. After shareholders expressed their support for Kotick, the workers at Activision Blizzard respond. Over 1,000 employees and contractors at Activision Blizzard have now signed and published a petition to remove CEO Bobby Kotick from the company, doubling the number of signatures since the petition was made public. We, the undersigned, no longer have confidence in the leadership of Bobby Kotick as the CEO of Activision Blizzard. The information that has come to light about his behaviors and practices in the running of our companies runs counter to the culture and integrity we require of our leadership and directly conflicts with the initiatives started by our peers. We ask that Bobby Kotick remove himself as CEO of Activision Blizzard and that shareholders be allowed to select the new CEO without the input of Bobby, who we are aware owns a substantial portion of the voting rights of the shareholders. In a surprising move, the petition goes on to list the names, titles, and departments of the workers, which could potentially expose signatories to retaliation. The petition comes days after a bombshell report alleging Kotick knew about, enabled, and even participated in a culture of misconduct and harassment that has drawn the attention of government authorities. In response, the company's board of directors issued a statement saying it would continue to support Kotick, even as a small group of shareholders demanded his removal. This petition is the latest development in a series of worker-led actions against the company, which now includes 2 walkouts and the formation of an employee advocacy group, A Better ABK. Since we first published this story, A Better ABK has shared a link to a second petition to remove Kotick that it is asking supporters to sign. As of this writing, it has more than 2,600 signatures. Sure, it's a lot more because that was on the 18th, so there's a lot more than that now. Yes, so there's a small sliver of what's been happening in the last couple weeks. In order to get the whole picture, it would have taken me like 10 articles, but essentially we've done stories on the past that there's been issues with sexual misconduct and harassment going on at Blizzard Activision for a long time. And the new news is that, the CEO is not only like knew about it and protected some of those employees, but participated in it as well.
Not to mention that new CEO that they hired over at Blizzard, she was just a figurehead. They still paid her less than her male counterpart, and she never really got to make any decisions. So she ended up leaving too.
May I ask, is there any, in that article, I didn't hear you say anything in particular about things that have been done by him exactly? Any of the claims that are being levied out? Is this just a blanket sexual harassment claim?
No, he threatened to kill somebody.
He's trying to kill someone. Like I said, there was other articles that actually had it seems like every day there's a new article saying, now this has come out about him, this has come out from like him physically doing things to saying things to protecting employees who are doing or saying things.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
In that case, it's pretty clear that he probably needs to be removed like sooner rather than later. I feel like I'm sorry if you guys heard that. That was my kid killing my other child.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's okay.
Cool.
It's fine. They're fine. They're good. Yeah, no, I think they're still breathing. Hey, doing a world-renowned podcast right now. Let's, okay? To the throat. You understand? Okay. She understands. All right, sorry about that. All right, so basically, we're talking about all the serious stuff, and then we had that. I think that when it comes to like sexual harassment stuff like this, you always want to kind of know where things are at, because we've gotten to the point that the world is changing a little bit, and sometimes the line is blurred. The definition of what sexual harassment is. Just to show you a little thing, my sister earlier today said that her coworker, a lady, said to a gentleman there at her work, who's the boss, she said, "Hey, good morning, sunshine." And she was immediately pulled into the office and had a stern talking to, and was given a warning for sexual harassment for saying "Good morning, sunshine." And so this is to a male coworker who is her her boss, her superior. And so my sister said another thing was somebody said "hun." Another woman said "hun" or "babe," like "sweetie" or something to another young lady, and that became a sexual harassment thing. So I think that
sounds like people just looking for
right, and that's where I'm at. That's why I'm like, okay, you need to dive in a little deeper to make sure that it's not some of those kind of things. I know that I had an older lady. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's not only the things that people are talking about that he's done over the years are not only just sexual, misconduct. They people are talking about the fact that he pretty much authorized in Activision's record profit year for like 800 people to get fired out of nowhere. It's just it's things like that it all kind of adds up. And then I was saying earlier that he allegedly,
Emma, please go. I'm recording a show. Please go upstairs now.
For an employee, left a voicemail. I guess they must have did something he didn't like, and he said, I could have you killed or something like that.
Well, so and the story's coming out and talking about protecting employees who are so there's actually
who are doing these things.
There was an employee a woman who was raped twice by other employees, and they were protected for a long time, and I think obviously eventually I'm sure they were let go, but he was kind of in
because they were executives under him.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. It's not just hey, sweetie.
No,
it's
that's
yeah.
No. Yeah. And I wasn't trying to, please understand, I'm not trying to okay sexual harassment or anything like that. I just wanted to know, with these things, are there larger claims that are being made? And obviously there is, and there's no room for any of that kind of crap in today's society. There wasn't room for that crap before either, but I just want to make sure that if it's, hey, there's sexual harassment, hey, what's actually going on? Is this a matter of somebody is Southern and says "hun" or "sweetie" as a part of a sentence and doesn't mean anything by it, and is he sexually harassed me, and it's
no,
that's just one aspect of it.
He's a dirty old man, is what it is.
Pretty much.
No, it sounds like it.
It's gotten to the point where pretty much the heads of and as of today, Phil Spencer of Xbox,
Jim Ryan,
Big Jim Ryan over at PlayStation, and even today, Nintendo have all shared their sentiments about, hey, we're all hearing stuff about this cat, and we don't like what we're hearing, so we're probably going to think about reevaluating our relationship with Activision if you guys don't do something.
Which is crazy.
They don't do that about anybody.
No. I mean, to think that these companies are questioning, should we continue to support Call of Duty and some of these other major franchises? That's crazy. But I mean, hey, if that's what it takes to make a change happen, do it.
Yeah.
I don't mind if there not being a Call of Duty on a PlayStation next year.
It's coming through the
microphone. I'm fine with that.
I'm
go upstairs now.
It's crazy. It's sad. It's been going on for a long time.
I got to put the microphone back on right now. Please go upstairs,
happening at Activision Blizzard for probably the last 7-8 months. It's been on and off the last 9 months or something like that.
That's because nothing's really being done.
They keep saying
it's infuriating.
Yeah.
We're looking into it. We're investigating. We're looking into it. Okay. There's nothing. You haven't found anything in almost a year.
Yeah, but it's crazy because there's all these stories and seemingly proof, but it's all been internal investigations done by Blizzard so far for the most part. I think there's one report that came out by someone else, but again,
they're all by Blizzard ordained companies, not independent research firms.
It's
the only reason that we found out about that because the state went in and started wrecking shop.
Yeah, the state was California was finally oh no, there is stuff going on here. We're going to take this
stop
more
fighting with
seriously. But yeah, it's sad. And we put out a tweet last week saying hey, we support all the employees who are who are signing these petitions and out there fighting for change. And I've signed the petition, and hope you guys will too. So I don't know, the petition might not do anything, but it might also be the thing that does it. Like finally, like, okay, know what? Like there's enough pressure here. Like we got to do something.
Let's be real about it, right? For a second.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we want him to, Bobby's not going anywhere. He makes Activision far too much money overall for them to just let him go, right? The thing is, the only thing that might get him out of here is if Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo are like, you know what? If you don't want to get him out of here, if you don't want to make any changes, they have to put their foot down. If they all say you're not putting any Call of Duty,
she can be downstairs. She's gonna be quiet.
They make.
Let her come downstairs right now.
I couldn't even think of anything else.
I
said Call of Duty earlier. That's all I can think of. But I mean,
right now, majorly,
If it's Blizzard, it's they have World of Warcraft. They got Overwatch.
Activision. Yeah, Overwatch, Diablo. Like you're not putting none of your stuff on our consoles anymore until you do something. Mm-hmm. They get Bobby out of there tomorrow.
Yeah,
but these game companies, these manufacturers, they have to speak up. I mean, saying a letter saying that, hey, what's going on over there? We're not liking what we're hearing is a good start, but you have to follow up with that. You have to double down on that.
Yeah, it's definitely not the good old boys network anymore, and that kind of stuff can't be tolerated. So it needs to, if that's really the case, he needs to get it nipped in the bud immediately. Mm-hmm. Whether that's eliminating him or just putting him out to pasture.
They need to nip him in the bud, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Something needs to give. And it's better be him. But all right. So the next news story here: Streamlabs accused of plagiarism. This comes from GamesIndustry.biz. Jeffrey Rousseau writes, this week, live streaming tools developer Streamlabs was accused of plagiarism by streaming service Lightstream. This followed the announcement of its new service, Streamlabs Studios, for Xbox console users. Lightstream tweeted a comparison of Streamlabs Studios and its website, which appeared to be very similar. Content creator...
One for one.
Yeah, it was identical, the picture that they put up, pretty much. Like, I think even like the color scheme, like everything about it was like the same. That's fantastic. My camera froze. That's fun.
Keep rocking. We got it.
Lightstream wasn't the only streaming service that had concerns with Streamlabs Studios. OBS Studio said via Twitter that it was advised about Streamlabs service name Slobs, Streamlabs open broadcast software. Despite expressing it didn't want the name to be used, Streamlabs proceeded to use it and file a trademark.
Can you get Daddy some tea
Streamlabs
out of this
released
cup
a statement addressing some of the concerns it has faced. We are taking immediate action to remove OBS from our name, said the company. Yeah. Streamlabs OBS is built on top of the OBS open source platform. Streamlabs OBS is also open source, and our code is publicly available. We take responsibility for our actions and will support the community. Following the allegations of plagiarism, the company's business practices were also called into question. A former member of staff at Streamlabs also pointed to alleged unethical practices at the company, but didn't provide further details. The live streaming tools developer has not responded or released a statement in response to the accusation regarding its work ethics. It's not mentioned here, but also Elgato came out and said, hey, Streamlabs also decided to, they have an app called Streamlabs Stream Deck, which is the same exact name as the Elgato Stream Deck, and it does the same exact thing. It's not a physical device like but Elgato has an app too. That's like I actually use the Elgato Stream Deck app, and Streamlabs is like, oh well, let's copy that and use the same name. So they have.
I bet if you dug deep enough, you find like Elgato mentioned somewhere in that code.
Oh, 100%. So it's a pattern, unfortunately, with them. And when I saw that, I was like, you got to be joking with me. Like we actually used Streamlabs OBS. I use Streamlabs OBS for recording the episodes. I use Streamlabs for our tips. I use Streamlabs for a lot of our alerts, like for everything. All of our stream is Streamlabs because it's easy. It was actually really nice. It used a little more resources on my computer, but you know what? It has everything all in one. I click one button, I'm good to go. As soon as I read this, the next day, I switched over. And so like today, we're recording on OBS Studio, which is, the original open broadcast software. Yeah, it's missing a couple features I really loved, but you know what?
it's done me well.
If what if I would rather support a good people, a good company that is
the ones who actually came up with the idea,
making an honest product, than support Streamlabs for who's just is habitual thieves basically, kleptomaniacs. Is that what that's called? They're stealing stuff all the time. They can't help it. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to judge anyone who's using it. Like, if you're using Streamlabs, like, so be it. You go ahead and use it. But for myself, I didn't feel right using it. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm making the switch. So, I switched over to, and just, to help streamers out there, if anyone's watching and you're curious, well, what should I use? So OBS Studio, that's the original one. Love that. Use that. And then I actually switch over to Stream Elements for our alerts and all that stuff and tips and everything. So, and they actually, there's a plugin for OBS Studio, so they work together perfectly. So there you go. If you want looking for recommendations, like who should I switch to, then use OBS Studio with Stream Elements. Basically all the same features, and you're not supporting a crappy company.
Ding ding.
Win. So I don't know if you guys have anything more to add to that, but I just felt like it's kind of a good PSA to put out there. Like, hey, these guys kind of suck a little bit.
No, that's perfect.
They suck a lot because it's very obvious that this is plagiarism. A lot of people can say like, oh, they plagiarized. Like comedians get that quite a bit. Somebody tells a joke, and then somebody on the other side of the country says a joke that's very similar or along the same lines. And a lot of reasons is because whatever's in the zeitgeist, those things are popular opinions, and those things kind of come out. It's like, well, he has a joke about that's very similar. I think he stole it. And plagiarism is accused in a lot of different ways. This is very obviously plagiarism. There's no way that you're around it. You can't say, well, no, there's too many, things that have come up.
Yeah, especially when you see like the main thing was like the most recent that Lightstream thing. When you look at the Lightstream website and the Streamlabs,
they didn't even bother changing any of the text. It's the exact same text.
Same text, some of the same placeholder photos. It's like,
come on, man.
No, like you did not even try.
Not
only did you steal the product, but you stole the web page from them as well. It's like,
have they made any statements yet on that?
No, they probably won't.
No. The only statement they've made is just saying that they're going to change their name because OBS asked them not to use OBS in their name, and they did anyway. So like, okay, we're going to take that out. But they haven't addressed the whole Lightstream thing at all. Like, they're not talking about that at all, which that's the reason everyone was originally riled up. So it's interesting. They're totally quiet on that. But, so be it. You stay quiet, then, well, we'll just take our money elsewhere.
Keep looking more guilty. Yeah.
This next news story, boy, has me real excited. This comes from Deadline. Alexandra Del Rosario writes, Death Stranding and Silent Hill developer Kojima Productions launches TV and film music division. First, before we even get into the story here, that headline, I don't know if you guys heard what I just said.
Oh, I did.
Death Stranding and Silent Hill developer Kojima Productions launches TV, film, and music division. I've not seen any other news stories talking about this. So I don't know if I can't be the only one who reads that and thinks, wait a second, like
fake news?
Kojima Productions hasn't made a Silent Hill game. At least Kojima Productions in its current form. Yes, technically Kojima Productions was a company under the umbrella of Konami previously, but
it still is.
Kojima Productions is not part of Konami?
No, isn't there two separate entities? Like he recreated it or something like that? It's called something different under Konami. But I think...
okay.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never really looked too much into it. There might be, but that would be weird to have a Kojima Productions when Kojima's not there anymore.
Well, because they're not going to just let him walk with that. So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't know. Again, this could just be maybe whoever wrote the article misunderstood. Maybe they meant to put Silent Hills in thought, like kind of connecting PT to Kojima, but I don't know that. So the first line in the article even says Kojima Productions, the Death Stranding and Silent Hill developer, which again they have not developed Silent Hill unless there's something we don't know. Helmed by Hideo Kojima. So let's move on from that. That's not even the main news story. I just thought that was interesting. So putting that out there. Is branching out with a new division focused on music, TV, and film. On Monday, the video game company shared on Twitter that it will open a new business division based in LA. Like I said, maybe I can go get a job up there, work in that mailroom. I would gladly scrub toilets for Kojima. Gladly. The newly added branch with my own toothbrush. I'd bring my own toothbrush from home.
I knew you were gonna say it. I saw your brain lining it up.
Oh, no. The newly added branch seeks to bring the studio's games to other entertainment areas. PlayStation vet Riley Russell will lead the new team. The new division will be tasked with working with creative and talented professionals in television, music, and film, as well as the more familiar games industry, says Russell to Games Industry. The team has as its charter the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of the properties now under development at Kojima Productions and to make them even more a part of our pop culture. Although we are a global organization, the new business development team will be centered in LA. We are truly excited and look forward to working with the very best entertainment talent we can across all of the entertainment industries. Even before the launch of the new entertainment-focused branch, Kojima Productions has already crossed paths with major Hollywood names, blah, blah, blah. Kind of, they're just talking about Death Stranding now. But, yeah, so basically this new company, at least from the way this article is written, isn't necessarily to just make music, TV, and film. It's to make stuff based off their properties. Like maybe we'll get a Death Stranding TV show one day, or...
So we're all in agreement that Oscar Isaac Metal Gear movie, they're going to handle it, right?
Oh, I hope so.
There's no way that they don't.
I hope so.
So I, for one, I know that Garrett, you're ready to fangirl out really hard, but I really want to tell you, like, I think that I'm really excited about this because Kojima, for all of the, teasing that we do about how much you love him and everything, he has such unusual content that he's created with Death Stranding and with Metal Gear Solid and with everything that he's touched, PT, like the potential of seeing some of those things come to the forefront and become TV shows, to become feature-length movies that we might see on streaming services or in the theater. Like, dude, I, for one, I'm like going to say right now, he has some of the craziest stuff that I've ever seen. Like, could you imagine Death Stranding as a TV show, as a long tenured series like The Walking Dead stretched out?
I kind of could, actually.
Absolutely.
It would actually be an amazing, like, mystery drama kind of epic, drawn out TV show, really.
And that's my thought. It's so unusual and it's so different. Like, he's got such a twisted, weird, crazy mind. And I think that would lend itself really well to like some big epics that I think he's capable of putting together. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it'll suck. But I think that with him being involved and having that creative, input and vision, it could be really, really epic. Yeah.
No, I saw that and I'm stoked. Yeah, because for every aspect, whether it's a TV show, it's a movie, or even having a music division, I was like, well, the freaking soundtrack for Death Stranding was top tier. Like the soundtrack for any of his games, Metal Gear has some of the best like orchestrated soundtracks. Like if I don't know, yeah,
Garrett,
yes.
Do we get an exclusive Kojima headed project out of this studio? Like he's gonna do something, whether it be a TV show, a movie, maybe a body of music that is exclusive to this studio. Like it's not a game that is going to be on anything or anything like that. It's just going to be him making content for whatever this studio is.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Like,
he's opening up this division, right, in LA. Do you think that he's going to he's going to do a project solely through this studio?
Yeah,
like it's not for a game or anything. Like he's just going to make a TV show.
So essentially, him helming it and him guiding every aspect of it, putting all of his energy into that as opposed to building a game.
I think that eventually, yes. I mean, obviously, right off the bat, all the announcement said from Kojima Productions is just like, oh, it's only to bring more awareness to our current properties, and then it goes on to, again, Deadline here keeps naming both Death Stranding and Silent Hill, which is very weird. I don't know why they keep doing that, because it's
buzzwords.
It's not in the original, but yeah, I think it's inevitable that it's only because he's always said that. It's ever since even before he made Metal Gear, he's always loved cinema. He's always wanted to make a movie. He's always wanted to get into film. So I think this is just a jumping off board. Like, yeah, they're creating it to make cool content for Death Stranding and their other properties, but it's only a matter of time before it's just like okay, this isn't a game. It's going to be just a feature-length movie, and that's the only way you can, and maybe, who knows, of course, with Kojima,
some people
it might
love
become
to do the
a game.
joke, that's already Metal Gear 4. So what?
Yeah, so what?
Was it good?
Yes.
Yes.
I can totally understand him wanting to helm a potential TV show, potential movie, whatever, and putting all of his energy into that. My only downfall to that is that it takes him away from producing games, and that's where
he's only 60.
It takes him so long to put together a game. He puts so many years into each one of his games, and I'm just saying, do we really want to have him taking a lot of time out of the actual medium that we love him in, games, whereas he can add creative input, maybe come up with a little bit of a script or whatever, or just be an executive producer and help guide some of those TV shows or movies in the right direction with content he's already produced, or maybe original ideas or concepts he can come up with. I'm just saying, I don't want to take him away from the gaming medium that I've already kind of love him in.
But I feel like I would feel like for him, as a creative person, being the person that he is, if him doing that TV show or that movie or whatever is fulfilling for him, I would want him to do that.
Yeah.
If he feels like, I love making games, but at times they constrain me. I really want to do, X project. I would want him to do that as a creative. I would want anybody to do that. Whatever you feel like I can express myself the best through X medium, I would want you to do that. And because of your track record in games, I would look forward to see what you have to do or what you have to say with whatever medium that you're choosing to do your next project on. Mm-hmm. So will we want him to make a game? Yeah. But I would rather see his creative vision fulfilled in whatever medium he chooses rather than to limit him to say, well, you got to make a game. You've been making games, keep making games.
To force it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? Maybe he's a better filmmaker than he is a game maker. Like, he's a great game maker, but maybe he comes out with a film and it's like, oh, this is actually better. Yet. Or maybe he produces an album for, like, I don't think he plays instruments, but maybe he produces it or something. And it's like, oh, this is actually this is
really good.
Really good. Like, whoa, okay. Like, we just haven't seen too much of that. Like, obviously he likes to have his hands in all the pots when he is making a game, but it's very different than just solely focusing on one thing. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. Like, yeah, I love his games, but you never know. Like, could very much be very different thing going on when he's working on these other projects. So I'm excited about that. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll be emptying his trash can.
Cleaning his toilet.
Cleaning his toilet. All right, this last news story comes from Polygon, written by Michael McWhirter over there. Rockstar apologizes for GTA Definitive Edition issues and will bring back classic PC versions.
Emma,
Rockstar Games has broken its silence over the messy launch of Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy,
please?
The Definitive Edition. That's a mouthful. The remastered games that, to many fans, weren't up to the level of quality expected. Rockstar said Friday that it plans to release updates for Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the Definitive Edition, to address technical issues with the games.
That happens every time
and
it
that
dies,
it will re-release the classic Windows PC versions of the trilogy that were removed alongside the Definitive Edition's release. Firstly, we want to sincerely apologize to everyone who has encountered issues playing these games.
Is it charging?
What?
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Sorry.
That was fantastic. The updated
I'm half asleep here, folks.
Hang in there, bud. Hang in there. The updated versions of these classic games did not launch in a state that meets our own standards of quality or the standards our fans have come to expect. We have ongoing plans to address the technical issues and to improve each game going forward. With each planned update, the games will reach the level of quality that they deserve to be. The first update is due in the coming days and will address a number of issues, Rockstar said, but did not specify which. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Like, Rockstar made a big boo-boo with these supposed definitive editions. They're not good. They're really bad.
Not even close.
They're real janky. Like, characters looking like spaghetti monsters and objects in the world just not looking like correct at all. Like, like it's not even just a gameplay issue. It's even down to the graphical, like the assets that they use. Like, oh, that's supposed to be like,
they don't even fit on models.
Right. Yeah, like people's faces like bulging out of their like eyes bulging out or whatever. Like all sorts of weird random things. Like when they hit copy and paste, like
certain models that looked really good in the old games look way off. The weather effects are awful. There's missing assets. There's like bridges that are missing, so you're just going over nothing. And there's no way you're supposed to know it's there. Oh my God.
So this is obviously a game that was nowhere near being ready, and they were rushing,
not even close,
to have
they were
it
trying
out
for Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is it's so odd to me because it's Grand Theft Auto. Like, you could have put it out any time of the year and people were gonna buy it. I don't understand what the rush for Christmas was.
I wonder if it had something, because it leaked first. And I don't think they're usually not that type of company, but I wonder if they had a little bit to do with it. Like all of a sudden these leaks started coming out, everyone started getting hyped. So they're just like, oh, okay, well, you know what? They kind of looked at their files real quick. Obviously not thorough enough, but they just kind of did a quick flip. Like, you know what? Yeah, we could release it now. Yeah, it got leaked. You know what? Let's surprise everyone. Let's say, here's the announcement and it's coming out in 2 weeks. That's basically what they did. It was like, here's the announcement. Like, that's what it feels like, is basically, oh, shoot, it's leaked. I guess we better just release it. It's like,
you could have said, here's the announcement, or it's coming out next year.
2022, summer 2022, whatever. Like,
and we were like, okay, I get it. It's all 3 games. It's going to take a while. It makes sense for it to take a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally bizarre. Everything going on over there. And it wasn't, I think part of it too is you can tell it was very much a rush job. The fact that they weren't even willing to work on it with their own studio too. Like they outsourced it to another studio to do it.
Which is really weird to me, because I feel like as substantial as those games are to not only gaming history, but those games made Rockstar, you would think that they would want to work on that game themselves.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, it was an odd choice for me. Like if I'm one of the Hauser brothers, I'm like, yo,
these are
those
our
games
babies.
put us on the map. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to make all this money off of GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. You know, let's show it a little respect.
Yeah.
But I guess that they didn't feel the same way. I mean, I don't know what I guess they're making GTA 6, but like, what else are they doing right now?
They're making another Red Dead.
Grand Theft Auto 5 updates and Red Dead Online updates.
I guess. I mean, like, you couldn't even split off a team to do this, as big as Rockstar is, you know? Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's almost like they forgot where they came from, in a sense. It's kind of disheartening to see.
Getting a little too big for their britches over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, obviously I don't have the history with the games, but it's just such a bummer to see all my friends who are so partial to and like love these games so much to be like, man, like they suck. Like, why?
It's like bummer. Garrett. Here, I can liken it to you. Imagine the MGS1 remaster if Kojima just farmed it out and it came back like Cyberpunk level broken.
Oh man, that hurts. Don't say that. Don't say that.
That's what it's like.
That hurts.
Like Kojima didn't care enough about MGS1. He was just like, yeah, you know what? I could do that. Here, you guys make it. I got other stuff to do. I got to make this TV show, right? And then we get in and we're like, what is this? How could you have let this come out like this?
Yeah, that would devastate me. Like, I honestly don't even know if that. I'd be done.
It's obviously a quick money grab, and like you were saying, they're definitely just getting a little too big for their britches. When they probably should need to take a page out of the guy from Activision's book and just not wear any britches at all, walking around. You know what I mean? So, that's what I heard he did. That's what I heard he did.
Probably not. Probably not a great idea. Oh, man. All right. So that's it for the news story this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Now it is time for Tall Tales with JJ. That's right. This is a part of the show where JJ is going to tell a tall tale. He's going to set his 2-minute timer, give us a story. Adrian and I, real quick, we're going to be like, okay, is this real? Is this not real? And then we go from there. That's it. That's the segment. So here we go.
Show us what you got.
I don't have a timer, so
okay. Let me pull one up on my phone. I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see it.
Yeah, I don't have glasses on, so I won't be able to see it. So I'm just gonna go.
All right, ready, set, go.
Welcome to Tall Tales with JJ. My name is JJ, and so basically every single time we do this podcast bit, I end up telling a story in 2 minutes, and then the guys. They try to figure out whether I'm telling a tall tale or whether it's something that's really happened in my crazy, erratic life. So when I was 17 years old, I ran for Miss Newman, which was the local beauty pageant in my town. I had heard through the grapevine that they were having tryouts for Miss Newman, and I was sitting around and was literally half stoned, having just smoked a little bit of a joint with some buddies, and I thought to myself, that'd be really funny if I showed up and said that I wanted to run for Miss Newman with all these chicks. So I went to the local gymnasium where everybody was hanging out. All these women are standing around. These young ladies are standing around. I showed up and they were like, what are you doing here, JJ? And I'm like, I'm here to run for Miss Newman. And there was a lady who was the gym teacher who was extremely hefty, had a bigger mustache than I had at the time. And she actually said, you can't be here, you're male. And I said, you know what, that's sexist. And I'm not going to stand for that. So I think that I need to be able to be here. And so I kind of threw a little bit of a fit about it. A couple of the girls joined in and said, yeah, you need to let him be here, And then a couple of girls said, he's a dude. This isn't fair. It's not right. And I said, you're only saying that because you're jealous and you know I'll win. And so I said this stuff, and most of it was humor. So basically what ended up happening was I went through several practices. The principal said that I could do it. And at the last possible moment, they came to me and said, can you please not continue in the vein of running for Miss Newman, as it will destroy the legacy. And I bowed out at the last possible minute. But it was getting pretty close. I was doing a lot of the dancing and stuff like that up until the last possible moment. So I almost ran for Miss Newman in front of a lot of people.
Perfect timing. Oh man. That's absurd. That's so crazy.
Let me go. All right. So here's what I think is a first. I think we've got our first mixed bag, right?
Oh.
I think certain elements of this story are true.
Like him smoking weed.
The weed was definitely true. 100%.
And I think that there are certain elements that he may have altered for story's sake. So I definitely think that you for sure stonedly went and tried to run for Miss Newman. I guarantee that. However, I'm going to say I think they let you go ahead and participate. And I think you killed it and you took home first place.
Okay.
That's where the story differs.
Okay.
Either that or you made a fool of yourself, but they let you participate.
I think it was mostly true, but I don't think you did as I'm gonna go the opposite. I don't think you did as good as you said you did. You said it was a close match and you're doing really great. I think you just made a fool of yourself, and you were the laughing stock of town for decades, and that's why you could never leave until now.
That's one of the reasons I eventually had to move to Nebraska. No, so here's the deal. I did actually go to the Miss Newman tryout where everybody was standing around, and I did claim that I wanted to run for Miss Newman, and I did end up fighting with the lady who was there. Some of the women did want me to do it. Some of them did not. I did not get very far because they would not allow me to run for Miss Newman. But that all of it did happen up until that point. And I never tried out any dancing or anything like that. But essentially, yeah, there was a very close time. And funny enough, some of the ladies that were in that Miss Newman that year later remembered, I remember when you ran for Miss Newman. And it's like, that never happened. But because of the legend of JJ, sometimes it grows not only in my mind, but in the minds of others.
That is
your
fantastic.
impact.
That is fantastic.
Undeniable.
So
good.
No,
that was a tall tale.
That's a tall tale.
He got us.
Man, I like that little half truth because it's like, oh,
and that's where the best stories are, is in them half truths.
Oh man, so good. Well, thank you so much, JJ, for that. Tune in. We do this, I think, pretty much every other week. In the off weeks, we do Super Indie Boys, of course. But tune in a couple more weeks, and if you want to hear some more tall tales from JJ, and JJ also threatened us with some more explicit tall tales if we can ever get to our Patreon goal and come out with our new show for you guys. But we'll talk about that here in our ad. All right, guys, it's time to talk about our Patreon. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. Remember, you can go over there and support us starting at $1 a month, but we have a $5 tier. We got the $10 tier. We got the $15 tier. Whatever you're feeling. Heck, if you want to give us $100, I don't know if Patreon works that way, but you can try. You can try to give us $100 a month. That'd be awesome. But you get some awesome perks like our episodes such as this one and our book club early and ad-free. You get our show notes early. You can get shout outs on the show. You can be our boss, our Patreon producer, where you pitch segments just like that Tall Tales, where that was from our Patreon producer Kojima. Super Indie Boys originated when Adrian was one of our Patreon producers. And so check us out over there. And like I was mentioning pre-ad, we have a goal on there. If we can get to $100 a month, we will do a third show for you guys. Another, I believe it was going to be like a monthly show, so just once a month, but Super Later Boys, where we jump on and we're not necessarily focused on the video game news. We're not necessarily focused on nerdy nudes and answering listener questions necessarily. It's going to be, hey, we're just chit-chatting, talking. Maybe we have a topic of the show. This is going to be telling stories and having fun, laid back, really chill. Just a fun...
Rated M for mature.
Rated M for mature, and that's where JJ threatened to bring out the big story. So if you want to hear more tall tales of JJ, the rated, PG-13 or maybe even rated R. I don't know. He wasn't very clear on that. Then support us at Patreon.
Actually.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I don't.
All right now.
I don't know if Apple Podcasts.
We can't play those movies anywhere.
I don't know if Apple Podcasts will allow that on their streaming service, but we'll see. I don't know if YouTube will let that. We might. I was gonna
say, look, we gotta. There's not a whole lot of theaters we can play those in.
We're not monetized at this point, but if you're telling stories like that, we're definitely never getting monetized. That's for sure. But yeah, support us over at Patreon. If you want us to fund that new show, we would love that. I think it'd be a lot of fun to just chill with you guys one night for a couple hours and talk about, share random stories. So, check that out. Remember, you can also support us at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. If you're watching here on Monday nights when we stream the recording live, right now we're recording an episode live on Twitch for everyone to see. It gets taken down immediately, so that way, again, it goes out to our Patreon supporters first for VOD viewing and podcast listening. But if you're here on Twitch, throw us a sub. It's $5 for the sub. Or remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which means you have a free subscription every single month. Cost you $0. You link those accounts. We get $5, and you get sweet emotes. And actually, Twitch just put out an email last week. They've updated their emotes, how they work. So we now have animated emotes. That's right. You can have the hype Adrian. You can have a flippity flop that actually flips and flops.
Put them in the chat.
Spam them in the chat right now. So go ahead and sub over at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys if you want to use awesome emotes in our chat and all your friends' chat. Show off your fun emotes. So that's it. Now it's time to get back to the show. All right. now it's time for what you playing. So JJ, you're not allowed to talk about Little Nightmares 1 and 2. What have you been playing?
I've been playing so much. So I got a hold of the Xbox Game Pass. I finally plugged in and hooked up the Series S. I played a little bit of Halo Infinite multiplayer with you guys on the last week's episode that we did. So that was my first foray into Halo, anything Halo. Wow. A lot of fun. Beautiful.
That's crazy. That's your first exposure to Halo was Halo
Yes,
Infinite.
it is.
That's
absolutely.
insane.
I mean, I played
it's a good spot to jump in on.
Yeah, it really is. And I can't wait for the campaign. I'm really excited for it. And I know for a fact now that it's going to be coming out in December because, you know, they did the multiplayer at the perfect time as that little, you know, drop after the 20-year mark. So I also been playing through a lot of other Game Pass games, just sampling things for little minutes here and there and kind of getting through some stuff. I played Medium for the first time this week after you guys had been playing through it, and honestly, not impressed. I was really thinking that I was going to enjoy it more, and I didn't play long, maybe 10 minutes. And I just was like, I found it to be kind of unplayable. The controls for me, I don't want to say they're like Resident Evil's tank controls from the original PlayStation, but they feel really boxy and clanky. And I just found like it was dragging out. And I know that like a big story sometimes needs to be evolved slowly for you to get into it, but I just felt like I wasn't getting anything, and I wanted something, just anything. I wanted to be fed, and I didn't get any of that from Medium. I also played a couple of other games, just sampling some stuff. I talked about it a little bit before the show. I can't think of the name of the game. It's like a zombie game, and it's the Juggernaut edition. I played a little bit of that.
I gotta look this up. You said Juggernaut about 100 times in the pre-show.
I did because I kept
like,
you know, the guys, what's the name of it? You know, it's like something Dead something. I don't know.
Not Dead Island.
No, it's not Dead Island.
State of Decay.
That's a State of Decay. Yes. Yes, and that was actually really fun. Like, I was surprised how good that was. Like, that
2
was
to be exact.
really
State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2, the Juggernaut edition.
Yes.
And I was really surprised at how good it was. And I think it's an updated version is why. So I really did enjoy quite a bit of that. And then I ended up jumping back over onto my PlayStation 5 and playing some more Limbo, and I've been playing through Limbo the last couple of days. I actually almost finished it before we started recording the podcast today, and I'm finding myself having a lot of fun with that game. You know, so I've been doing a lot of gaming over the last several days. It's not like I'm like unemployed or anything like Garrett, you know, but I just find like I'm finding it. Oh no, I am. No, you're right. You know what? You're right.
Wait Maybe a second. You're giving me all this crap.
I hang out with a couple of bums.
Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some.
What am I doing?
Yeah, when you're getting the soup, Garrett, I might need you to grab me some.
I'll grab you a cup. I'll grab you a cup.
You were going to get down there and it's like, JJ, what are you doing here?
Hey!
It's going to be the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Do I get to be Miles Morales because I'm younger and cooler? No.
I mean, you could just ask... You got to get Garrett to palette swap you first, but yeah, we can do it.
Oh, he's good at that. He's good at that palette swapping stuff.
You guys.
Jerk.
You guys.
Jerk.
I never claimed to be an artist, okay? Oh, man. All right, Adrian, what have you been playing?
I have been playing... I actually kicked back on Super Mario Odyssey to get ready for a book club.
Yeah.
And my goodness, what a game. I'm going to leave it at that because we're going to talk about it on the book club episode. And I'm also playing Pokemon Pearl. Now you may be asking, Pokemon Pearl, oh man, that just came out. Everybody has opinions on it. I'll keep it there because I've seen both sides of the fence. Garrett, you're welcome to talk about it. No, I'm playing the original release on my original Nintendo DS. And I am having a blast. And I like Gen 4. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. It's good.
That's awesome. I love how it's like, oh, the new ones are coming out. I'm not going to play the new ones. I'm going to play the old ones.
I'm going to play the old ones.
Man, that's awesome. I hope you come around to the new ones soon because I need someone to trade with.
I'll
I
be
need
there.
someone to...
You don't know anybody else playing them?
No. Oh, well, I take that back. I was actually just
Steph's
flipping through.
playing
Yeah, I was flipping through the Normcore Discord the other day, and I saw there's actually quite a few people. But it's funny, they're all playing. A lot of them are playing Diamond, and I'm like, that's the one I have. I'm like, dang it, we're all playing the same one.
Somebody's getting Pearl because you get the Kanto birds in Pearl. I can't remember who exactly, but those are the exclusives for Pearl. Is the Kanto birds.
Okay.
So you might be able to find somebody in there.
Okay.
Dive in and see.
I better. Because so I am playing Brilliant Diamond, which is the remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And I've told this story before. My last Pokemon game was Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I love
classics.
And it's like, so Gen 2 and 3 are some of my favorite gens. Love those so much. Never played the next ones because my parents are like, no, you're not getting a DS. You have a Game Boy that works just fine. I'm like, but it's different. It doesn't play.
You don't understand.
It doesn't play the new Pokemon.
Right.
You don't understand.
Mom, it plays Mario 64.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That game we got you 10 years ago? Yes.
But in my hands, it's small.
Yeah, I can play it in the car when I go places I don't want to go with you.
But so I picked up Diamond, and not knowing anything really about Gen 4. Since then I've played Sword and Shield. So I went from like Gen 3 to, is that Gen 8? Is that Sword and Shield?
You skipped a good few.
I skipped a few in between there.
Funny enough, they didn't have a car. I don't know if you knew that, because he was a missionary kid, so they actually had that bike where mom would be like riding the bike, and they were like on the back of it. It was like a taxi.
Yeah, like those crazy pictures you see from like the Philippines or something, where it's like a whole family's on a motorcycle. Like there's kids like hanging off the front and the back and on the shoulder. Yeah, like that's
I picture like Garrett running alongside the bike and like using like a palm frond to like fan his mother off while she's riding the bike. I don't know why that's how I picture you, dude. I don't. Am I far off? Just tell me now.
Just a little. But dude, my impressions of the game so far from a completely uneducated view, because so I didn't enjoy Sword and Shield at all. Like I didn't finish those. I was like, this is hard. They're not it. They just made too many changes for me. So jumping into this, oh man, I'm not going to lie. This is like maybe 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for me, because it feels like old Pokemon. Like I feel like that's a lot of people's hate on it. They're like, it just feels like Pokemon. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. That's why I didn't like Sword and Shield, because it was Pokemon with all this weird stuff I didn't understand, because I missed like 10 generations where they slowly implemented that stuff.
That was your fault, though,
they like
old
slowly
man.
Oh, no, 100%. They like slowly implemented all this stuff. And for me, it was just like, wham, here it is. Figure it out.
I don't like change.
I don't like the change.
I don't like change.
So when I jumped into Brilliant Diamond, I'm like, holy smokes. Like this is what I've been looking. Even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I jumped into that and I'm like, still like, no, like there's just something a little fun, like off with it. Like I didn't quite like it.
It was the motion catching, man.
Oh, the motion catching freaking sucked. That was garbage, trash. So they tried to like Pokemon Go-ify the Switch game. I'm like, get out of here. If I want to play Pokemon Go, I play Pokemon Go. I'm loving this game. I'm actually really loving the Pokemon. Some of the new Gen 4 Pokemon are a lot of fun.
New Gen 4, he says.
The brand spanking new Gen 4 Pokemon I've never met before. Loving it. And for me too, like, yeah, I love like, okay, there are some cool new features, but again, it's like a slow drip. It's like, oh, okay, like it's mostly new, and then like 2%, or it's mostly the same, and then like 2 or 3% new. I'm like, okay, this is fun. This is easy. This is good.
You're so old.
The story so far has been like, okay, who's this Team Galaxy? Is that what they are? Galactic?
Yeah.
Team Galactic. Like, okay, I don't know who these fools are, but they seem weird, and I'm excited to see what they're trying to do to like take over the world. 'Cause so far they haven't revealed like what they're doing. I just know they're stealing Pokemon, something with power and energy. It sounds wild.
I can't wait to hear when you get where you're going. I'll just leave it at that.
So I don't know if this is considered a spoiler. This isn't really a spoiler. If anything, this is like a cool little like Easter egg / mystery gift, I guess, in the game. If you have, maybe if anything, this is a PSA. If you have Sword and Shield and Let's Go Pikachu and or Eevee, make a save on your memory card before you start the game for both of those. Because pretty early in the game, you go to this town, pretty early, within the first few hours, you go to this town where you walk up to this elderly couple and grandma gives you a freaking Mew if you have a sword and shield save, and grandpa will give you a Jirachi if you have a Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee save. So just a little tip out there. If you want some sick, like legendary Pokemon on your roster, go ahead and have those saves on
but
your...
I already have those.
But not in Brilliant Diamond.
But I have them in Diamond and Pearl.
Okay, but
from my old files.
In the old game, you don't have them in the new game.
I can transfer them up. What do you mean?
So far as I can tell, they haven't unlocked Pokemon. Like I don't see any Pokemon Home connection at all. Or
no,
is that what it's called?
So here's how it works, right? Yeah. You can actually bring them all the way up from your GBA games. So if you have a DS Lite, you can bring your Fire Red, your Sapphire, your whatever, your Gen 3 games up to Gen 4, so you can transfer them to Diamond and Pearl, and then you could take them from Diamond and Pearl to Black and White 2, and then Pokemon Bank hooks into Pokemon Black and White, and then you take them from Bank to Home.
Okay.
So you can do it.
But no, what I'm saying though is like so far in Brilliant Diamond, I have not come across one menu that would allow me to even access Pokemon Home.
You don't do it like that. You have to do it through Home itself, because it'll say, "Oh, what save data do you have?" And then you'll say, "I have Pokemon Brilliant Diamond." And say, "Yeah," and then it'll put them in your box for you.
Interesting, but see, that's cheating because you didn't catch those.
What do you mean I didn't catch? Were you there 10 years ago? I didn't catch them. You weren't there for those events 10 years ago, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You're right. But no, I just for people who don't have 10 plus years of history in their Pokemon Home, I was super happy that I had both of those saved games. I had Pokemon Sword and I had Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, because all of a sudden I'm like, heck yeah, I'm like just starting a game out and I have these freaking legendary like Mew and Jirachi just kicking butt out there. It was pretty sweet. And so my roster right now, I started with Piplup. It's already up to the second evolution, which I don't remember the name. I usually never give my Pokemon nicknames. I'm actually like,
I don't either.
All of my life, I've been like, nope, I'm a purist. I'm keeping it clean. But for this game playthrough, I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling wild. I've nicknamed every single Pokemon I've caught. Every single one. Even the ones that sit in my Pokemon box.
Can I just say that you saying that you are going wild on anything wild. Pokemon
Absolutely
just
wild.
Makes my day. I don't know why. Like it
Boys gone wild in here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm picturing here.
Relax. Now, Garrett, wait. So you said you picked Piplup?
Piplup, yeah, but I don't know the second evolution name because it just shows up as Pengy.
Does it look like this? Does it look like this? Or does it look like this?
I say it's the second. It's stage 1, technically. Is that what that would be?
Piplup is stage 1.
Yeah, right. Piplup is, so it's in the TCG, it's different, I guess. Okay, so it's, let me see. Where'd my cards go? I have cards here.
Oh, here we go. Professor Morlang.
So Piplup would be a basic evolution. This is not Piplup, but up there it says basic. And then stage 1 is the next evolution. Then stage 2 would be the top evolution, like this.
Oh, that's different.
According I'm that second evolution though above Piplup. Basically.
Prinplup is what you got.
That's what it is. Yeah, it just shows up as a nickname. I'm like, I don't know who the heck. Like it just.
And
shows
then
your
next one is Empoleon.
Yeah, that's the top one. I know Empoleon because I have him in. Hey, shut up, Siri. Jeez,
I thought somebody was in there with you. I was like, they've been awfully quiet this whole podcast.
See, that was my Siri earlier that did that to me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm getting interrupted by kids over here
Siri
too.
Was in the background. Now playing. Woo.
So I have Piplup, or not Piplup, whatever the second one is. I have whatever the second evolution of Bidoof is.
Oh my God! Why can I not?
I called him Doofus because he's an idiot. I hate it, but he's also pretty great.
Now I gotta look it up. Bidoof,
I have Jirachi. I have Mew. I had a Magikarp, and I evolved him into a Gyarados, so I now have a Gyarados.
Bibarel.
That's the one. And then my final one is who is it? I just swapped it out. Oh, I have a Kadabra.
Oh, good luck. Now you really have to find somebody because you got to trade to evolve it. Sorry.
Dang it. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. But yeah, so that's my roster so far. But dude, I'm having so much fun. I love it. I know there's people hating on it, but for me, who hasn't played like, there hasn't been a Pokemon game in a long time that I've enjoyed. You know, I was really excited about Sword and Shield, really excited about Let's Go Pikachu, and to be disappointed by those, I was like, okay, what are we getting with Diamond and Pearl here? And I've been so happy with it. So yeah, everyone go get Pearl so I can trade with you, please, please.
I'll get it in time.
Get it,
and then I'll give you all the exclusives that you need.
Thank you. I'll get all those legendary dogs for you, and then you can have the dogs. I'll get the birds.
I have the dogs already.
Oh, Garrett. Okay.
Yes. Garrett. I
actually have shiny dogs, by the way.
Oh,
you don't want to know how many hours I spent having to do that.
It's too many, probably. Yes, JJ from Super Gamer Boys.
Hey, hi. I wanted you to know that, like, when you talk about Pokemon and you talk about it as passionately as you do, with as much fervor, and you talk about it so much, I want you to know that most of our listeners literally send me messages, DMs constantly about questioning your whether you've ever seen a boob before. And I try to say that you have.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I know a lot of people.
I don't know. I don't know why you're being such a weirdo about it.
Yeah, like, that book is that book of Pokemon cards is definitely backing up your.
Okay, and here's and I'm gonna back that up a little bit more. I want to back that up a little bit more because 2 pages ago, those 2 pages were stuck together. What's happening here, Garrett? There's something going on, and I want you to know that, like, it's disgusting to me. You're a sick freak. Not right, man. Not right. Why don't you use a swimsuit calendar like normal people?
Or in JJ's world, a National Geographic.
Hey, you know what? They're out and about and they're free, buddy. So don't be hating. Don't be hating.
All right. With that, I think it's time to end the show. Thank you guys all so much for listening and watching live at twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys, later over on podcast services and at youtube.com/Super Gamer Boys. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, if you're on Twitch, throw us a follow so you know when we go live. If you have the Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, so throw us a free sub over there. That helps a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our channel. That's free, and you always see when new episodes go live. And give us a thumbs up so that way people know it's a good episode, and leave a comment down below. All that stuff, it helps. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can support us at patreon.com/Super Gamer Boys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month, get episodes early and ad-free. sgbstore.com, or if you want our sweet merch. I just ordered merch live on stream the other night when we were playing Mario Party. I was getting heckled by the crew for my old school 1.0 mug. So I was like, fine, I'll get the new one. So I got a new mug. I got a new sweatshirt coming with Super Gamer Boys across the front, crew neck. And then I got a pair of socks with our buttons, the buttons and the Super Gamer Boys logo. So
Smart.
If you want sweet merch, for Christmas gifts, Christmas coming up, sgbstore.com. Go find it over there. It's awesome. Rate and review us where you can. We very greatly appreciate each and every one of you who do take time out of your day to do that, whether it's on podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
They can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
At Homeboy. And JJ, where can they hypothetically find you at?
You can hypothetically find me on Twitter and Instagram at GGPurdom.
All right. And that's it. That's all I got for the show.
Okay. Thanks for joining us once again here on the Super Gamer Boys. For Adrian, the Resident Evil legend, Homeboy Holmes.
Resident Evil?
Close enough. Close enough.
Okay. for Garrett, Soup Kitchen Jones. No, I'm just kidding. For Garrett Morlang. And for myself, JJ Purdom, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
All right, you unemployed bums, back to your street tents. Show's over.
No.